What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today when I talk to you about SoFi, I want to go over some of the data points, break it down on what really moved it today, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So SoFi did have a pretty solid day all around, went up 3.05%. 1278 the low, 1328 the high, and then you did see a little bit low for the volume though, so 56.5 million shares being traded, 62.5 is the average. But on a positive note, majority of the volume that did occur today was truly institutions buying SoFi. So it wasn't algorithmic trading, it was actual institutions optimistic about the market. So I'll go over that a little bit more later in the video. But today during the pre-market, you did have things looking pretty grim, and that was because of Trump's bill. So that was adding a certain level of uncertainty. Luckily enough, we did have some pretty solid data that did move the market higher. So we had initial jobs claims coming in lower than the forecast, composite, PMI, manufacturing, and services all higher than the forecast, kind of bouncing off of that general 50 range. Anything below 50 shows more of a contraction. Anything above 50 shows more of an expansion. So very good data. All in all. And what I find kind of comical is that when we do have in the past couple of weeks, when we've had good data, we actually tank because the market wants rate cuts. But with this data, the market acted accordingly and really moved higher. So that's kind of a good thing. You also did see the treasury yields start to drop. So kind of the fear from yesterday was subsiding a little bit. So that's generally a good thing. Today, no news from SoFi, no SEC filings or anything along those lines. One thing that did come out yesterday that I feel is worthwhile to bring up, or sorry, May the 20th, a couple days ago, the 2025 Axios Harris Poll 100 reputation ranking. So this is basically a list of companies, visible brands in America, it looks though, and it's just gauging their reputation. And SoFi, yours truly, is number 41. So definitely they're up there. And I think overall that is very good and speaks volumes on exactly what SoFi is trying to kind of encumber. And kind of on a comical note, a little bit more of a jab to Robinhood. They, I don't believe they made this list, if I remember correctly. So that's kind of a good thing, but nonetheless, SoFi did beat them. So that's a little bit more of a side jab to them. But moving over to shorts, they did return 113,000 shares, 13.67% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 148.41 million shares. So you can kind of see from the teal line right here, shorts were increasing first thing, and then obviously with the data, they did kind of return accordingly. So that's kind of a good thing. Anticipate them to be fairly volatile tomorrow because of the options. Side note as well, cost to borrow minimum is negative, so negative 0.07. So there's some manipulation that is happening based on the options. 8.12 million in calls, 4.09 in puts, and then 39% of all the options being done today are and were bullish in nature. So definitely good to see. And comparing it to the last couple of days, rather low volume, so matches with the common stock as well. So yesterday was 23.1, day prior was 12.2, and then day prior to that was 10.3. So a little bit on the low end. Put/call ratio definitely does go to show that there's more upside anticipated based on this right here. So the bulls, there's a consensus for it to be above that $14 in the next couple of trading days, or at least for this week as well as next week. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 1250. So definitely, I think given the circumstances, there isn't really any data points coming out tomorrow that could spook the market for it to be sub 1250. So I think it is fair to lean and agree with the bulls that there is more upside. One thing to take note of though is tomorrow, with it being Friday, is this is the open interest. So you have 6,000 at that 13, 12,000 at 1350, 23,000 at the 14, and then 25,000 at the 1450. So if SoFi does get close to that 1350 tomorrow, or better yet, even that 14, you might see shorts wake up a little bit. I don't see them trying to manipulate SoFi sub 13 because that 6,000 is chump change. That's not really worth kind of dying over and really sacrificing profits or whatever to do that. So just kind of watch for that 1350, and if so, then shorts might wake up a little bit. These are all the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. Couple big ones, so 3.7, 1 million right here, 13.3, so that was done after hours, 1.9, and then 3.89, so that was just done recently. Dark pool transactions, this one was done roughly about about 40 minutes ago. crypto, 1.7 million, 5.2. And obviously, as per usual, dark pool is very popular, and that's often enough used by shorts and other large institutions. With it closing at 13.19, it is trading between this S1 and this S2. So 13.12 is going to be a strong support, and then 13.46 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. So it's kind of comical how yesterday was extremely bearish, and just like a light switch, we kind of flip. And I think in reality, one thing that would really help SoFi right now is a good catalyst. And I think honestly, I know I'm waiting, I'm sure a lot of you are as well, but clarity on crypto is running like a madman. Bitcoin's like all-time highs. SoFi did allude to them kind of bringing it back in 2025, but no real clarity on exactly when. I feel like adding that clarity and just giving more of a outline or an update would do wonders. That probably alone will cause the stock price to go up like easily 5%. That's going to be a huge moneymaker for SoFi. So just kind of watch for that. So 13.46 on a technical standpoint is going to be a key one to watch for. No new analyst ratings, no articles really coming out or anything like that. So it's just piggybacking off the broader market. And as far as this, still wedge bound between those 2 points, as I mentioned, so that 100 and also 200-day moving average / 50-day moving average. So this is a very strong support. So the 250, both at that 12.18 and 12.26. So that's going to be pretty much diamond support, and most likely, kind of worst case scenario, as I mentioned in my video yesterday, that might be shorts' bigger plan to try to really double down there, to really break it down. But with today's good data, they might have to wait a little bit longer to kind of test that plan. But I think for tomorrow, a key level to really watch for is going to be that 13.46 and also that 13.62. So that is going to be that retest of that 100-day moving average. So let me know your viewpoint. Are you buying SoFi? Are you selling? What do you feel? And as far as the time frame, when do you think crypto is going to be announced for SoFi? I know a lot of people really look at the data behind the scenes on kind of what is coming, what kind of the coding behind SoFi's website is really portraying, and updates. It doesn't really show any crypto or stuff like that coming yet. So when do you realistically see that being launched? So let me know your thoughts on SoFi. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon and give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point. So definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.